All right, guys, what's up? I'm going for take 2 here because my roommate was just making some tea and the timer just went off really loudly in the background. But anyway, my dryer is still running and I am sitting on the floor, but yeah, there was good lighting over here, so yeah. I just wanted to share some thoughts that I wrote recently. I share these on other social media platforms, link on my blog, definitely in like an Instagram caption, but I know people don't like really read those. So I just thought I'd share my thoughts on here. Maybe a couple of you will listen to it and it'll resonate with you, so yeah. I've been reading a lot lately about awareness and consciousness and trying to be present more often, and yeah, these are just some of my thoughts reflecting on all of that. So I called this my white flag. Day after day, the universe unveils new lessons with which to teach me. What's shifted recently is the comprehension that I am indeed being led, and also that I must accept this role as a student. Beyond that, I'm now ever more aware that I must release my grip on the reins in order to allow what is meant for me to come into my life. As I said, I am the student, and I am tapping into something much wiser and far more profound than my human brain can fathom. I cannot be led onto a path greater than myself if I continue to manhandle the steering wheel of my life. It's undeniable that there are forces greater than my stubborn will at work in my life and in each of our lives, and yet somehow I maintain that I know better. It is also glaringly evident that my preferred timing and the chronological roadmap I've constructed for my life are entirely futile. Still though, I expend loads of energy and precious moments as if my plans and the outcomes of my future are inherently linked. This is false. This is a lie of a fearful mind. This is an attempt to uphold the negative patterns of an ego-run life. This is the familiarity of my prior unconsciousness fighting to keep me in the dark. The Power of Now states it like this: all fear is the ego's fear of death, of annihilation. So in your ascent, in your progression toward consciousness, and in your severance from this mind-identified state, you are choosing love. You cannot exist from a place of love and simultaneously be fearful. And that knowledge is now within me. I've seen these truths clearly and eloquently stated before me, but I have yet to manifest those practices into my life. You know, more often than not, I, like many others, I'm sure, am choosing to be led by fear and any of its forms rather than love. And of course, I desired to invert those proportions, gradually etching fear out of my life and suffocating the mind-identified self, but I'm not there yet. Intellectually, I know what the next step is toward a great breakthrough. In that same mind, though, are the habitual structures that currently confine me. They are so ingrained that I'm truly rendered blind by my fear. All I, and perhaps we know, is a life led by fear, and so I take solace in that. It may not be blissful and miraculous and serendipitous all the time, but I know it. In that knowing is a steadiness, a foundation upon which I can stand with a certain degree of confidence. In this way of life, I know how to be. I've done it day after day. A life led by love is relatively unknown for myself and presumably many others. It's uncharted territory. It's the elusive mirage only available to the enlightened authors and spiritual teachers. My interactions with that realm are limited. They are quickly fleeting moments, unpredictable and sporadic on the timeline of my life. I cannot imagine a life continuously in that state. However miraculous it may be, it's foreign and therefore it seems risky. And that is exactly the thwarted logic that I'm fed by this fear-led, mind-identified self. It's exemplary of my underwhelming and fairly stagnant existence. Why do I not choose freedom? When will I take what I know is a necessary step? When I'm stronger? When I'm better? When I'm ready? No, I think all of those are additional falsities created by the false self that I've been allowing to run my life. You know, there was a time when I was ignorant to my true self. There was a time when I hadn't fully recognized my disconnect from within. Now, though, I see. For lack of better phrasing, I see the light. I see the more, and I see the better, and yet I hesitate to take them for my own. And I know I must surrender. I must admit my powerlessness in order to access my oneness. I must see that I am broken before I can become whole. I must separate myself from the ego to find true inner peace. It isn't time that I need, it's forgiveness first, then it's acceptance, then all it takes is the present moment, and my white flag will give way to the brightest light I've ever known. So those are my thoughts, and just talking about being more aware and conscious and present every single moment of our lives, and not living out of habits or fears or just these conditions that we placed on ourselves because of society, but just living from a much more true, profound place. So I hope that makes sense, and hopefully the words resonate with some of you guys. If you watch this far, you're amazing. I love you. See you next time.